Hey guys, how's it going? Can everybody hear me well?
Yep, loud and clear.
Awesome, awesome. Good to see you here, Positive Polly. How's it going, man? Hey guys, how's it going? Can everybody hear me well?
Very good, thank you. How's it going, Murad?
Doing very well as well. Excited to continue this tradition going. Was a huge day for the Cognosphere yesterday. Huge shout out to Southern Fried Chad for running the Carolina conference. That was incredible. I was watching the whole thing start to finish on YouTube live. Was really excited to see all of the presenters. Really proud of Southern Fried Chad, as well as all the other people that helped organize, attend, and give the presentations. Happy to discuss some of that today as well. But I can see some of the people that were there yesterday in person right now here in these spaces. I also see the people that I was seeing in the chat. So that was awesome.
Testing one, two. I like was up here and then I dropped down. Sorry if I'm having technical difficulties. Murad, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Beautiful. Yeah, I want to mirror Murad's sentiment, and I really am hoping that some of you from the South Carolina Aeon conference come up on stage. I know Slow was there. I know The Juice was there. I know Blaze was there. Cow, obviously, and Manj, who gave incredible talks. Jesse, who was, obviously on a panel. We had Nick. I think a bunch of you are in here, so please do request to come up on stage. We'd love to hear from the people who were physically there. And yeah, I just want to mirror Murad's sentiment and say, like, I was blown away. I watched most of it. I think I might have missed a couple of minutes of each of the panels, just like getting my life together. But yeah, no, I had it on in the background, but loved Cav's opening, was insane. I feel like we need more of these sort of like long format cow presentations. You just bring so much authenticity to it. And I think you're really understated in terms of how, like, your depth of knowledge. So I learned a lot listening to you speak personally. So I wanted to give a shout out to Cow for opening so strongly. The panels were so good. I don't know, like, I really want to know who curated the panels because I thought it was super brilliant. And if you haven't watched yet, please do go and check out the video of the stream because the panels were so well curated. The first one like went generation by generation and basically said like, how does SPX connect to generation X, Y, and Z, or whatever, like differently in a sense. So there was a representative from each of the different generations, and it was cool to hear the different perspectives. Yeah, and obviously, like, I want to also shout out Manj because I have a deep connection to the GameStop Short Squeeze saga, as I've discussed before. It was super cool hearing, like, you break it down in terms of the Gamma Squeeze and, like, just some of the little technicalities that played into, how we saw retail influence price action, ultimately. Back in the day when there were charts, now we've evolved far from that. But yeah, just shout outs to everyone who helped organize Southern Fried Chad. You are an absolute G. I love you. I appreciate you. Great venue choice, great curation of everything, great stream, and making it accessible to all of us. So just wanted to jump in and kind of like underscore what Murad just said.
Hey everyone, Spacey, Murad, Positive Polly. I'm still trying to process everything I just experienced these past couple of days. I'm staying a little quiet while Sasi is driving and Nick is currently dead asleep. So we are getting some nice quiet time. Cause boy, our eyes were, our ears were bleeding.
Is that quiet time in contrast to when Nick is awake? Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, 12 hours of Nick and 12 hours back. It's quite an experience. But yeah, I'm gonna take a little bit of time to process what I've experienced over the next couple of days. But wow, hanging out with Aeons on Spaces and then hanging out with them in IRL is something I recommend everyone gets to experience at some point or the other, and it just helps build more conviction that once I get back home, I definitely want to see how I could like start doing something in Los Angeles to, start building something there. But
I love that you like. First of all, you trekked a crazy distance just to get to this thing. But I love that you coming out of this, your overall takeaway is like, how can I now bring this to my city? That's super beautiful. I love that. I relate to that on so many levels. And yeah, I want to hear the juice. Tell us a little bit. Obviously, you sat on a panel, like you were up there. Which is great because we know your voice from Spaces. You've been running Spaces for the longest time now. But it was really good to sort of put a face. And yeah, tell us some of the highlights for you, if you don't mind.
well, some of the highlights, starting off with Cal's presentation. Wow. Just being able to be in that room and just feel like I'm a fly on the wall, just experiencing that. And also the Monge's GME presentation, that was wow. Like, I was just sitting back listening to all the talks and just like, and then the talk with Dubin and Tony and Cal, I was like, it was like right at one thing after another, and like, yeah, I got a chance to like sit down and be on there, but it was a highlight meeting Zartan, because like every time he posts a video, I'm always, this guy's making bangers after bangers after bangers. So,
The juice. I'm jealous. Can you tell us about Zarkan, just as a very quick aside? Like, what's he like in person?
honestly, super humble. I had to give him props because I told him like, hey, there's one tweet you once said that like, I just made this video while on one hand while I'm holding my cat on the other hand. I was like, bro, I could just relate to that. So I was like, and I told him like, it's so inspirational that you're just doing this on your phone. And then he showed me the phone. He like whipped it out. This is what I've been doing it on. And I was like, that needs to be in a museum, bro.
I think it will someday. I actually think like I don't think people realize. I mean, even these conferences
Yeah.
and talks that people are giving, like these are all going to be historical artifacts that people are going to look back on because they're going to study SPX. So yeah, I think you're 100% right on target with that. That phone probably will be in
Yeah.
a museum someday.
For sure.
You should probably try to keep that in the family or something.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So
That's sick. See, there's nothing that can stop the sort of like spark of inspiration from sort of materializing. That's sick.
yeah. So and then also very special meeting Dr. Jesse. That was dope. He didn't want his streak to end, so he had to surprise us. So that was definitely fun. Highlights all around.
He is not the most positive Aeon. Let's just say that, though.
I got to meet Jesse obviously in Miami, and he's been really just super dedicated about making it to all the IRL stuff. And I wanted to say to Jesse, thanks for the shout out. I did hear it on the stream, and it both warmed my heart and made me like super depressed that I was not there. But yeah, I'm literally, this baby's gonna pop out any day now. So
Well, congratulations. I love you guys. I'm on a plane. I'm about to get kicked off this phone right now, but I just wanted to say it was amazing to see everybody. And I agree, besides the lectures, those curated questions on the panels were the best that I've seen so far.
Yeah, exactly. And have a safe flight. Let us know when you land safely, if you don't mind. And thanks
Love
for joining
you.
us.
Thank you. Stacey,
Love
I miss you. I did miss you.
I
there.
miss you too, but next time I see you, we're both going to have new humans.
That's right. That's right. Love you. Bye, guys. Thank you
Love
very
you,
much for
Jesse.
having me.
Take care.
To Juice, it was this very special, and it was very special to meet everybody there. Every time I'm going to say it again, you can't, even though the energy is amazing online, in real life, you must get to a meeting if you haven't been to one. And I'm telling you, whatever you guys choose to, you will see the power of this movement.
Yeah, I think the beauty of it, and the juice, I'd love to hear your perspective from the most recent conference, but one of the things that really struck me from Miami was everyone who came brought something. It was like, like different people in SPX bring different things to the table and contribute different things, and in different formats. And, like we had Southern Fried Chad who came down and streamed for us. Like we had, Gorilla Ape who was willing to be the sort of point person for receiving all of the stuff we needed to send down. Like we needed to send canvases and have all the art there and have all the stuff for the art installations and all that. So it was just everyone contributed differently, but everyone contributed. And I feel like there's such a lack of passivity that you sometimes see in other group contexts, that doesn't plague SPX, which is amazing. But yeah, did you feel the same at the South Carolina conference?
Sorry, it was cutting out a little bit just because I guess we're driving through right now. What was the question? Sorry.
Like, did you have the sense that everyone who was there had something different to contribute and like made it a point to contribute something?
Yeah, everyone did bring everyone brought like a little bit piece of them, or like whether it was like someone contributed with food, or like homemade beer, or just helping out with the setting up, just or like, yeah, there was also shout out to J Vest with those the cards. Those are game changers. Those are so sick to see in person. And like, yeah, so like when I saw them, we definitely had to display them a certain way. So,
Hey,
like,
by the way, also
yeah.
those tokens, the tokens that Slick, what was his name, Aeon 2511 passed out. Those were really cool. Spacey, you need to get one of those. Everyone should see those.
Oh yeah,
Were those in? So it looked like you had little badges that were like pouches, and you had some stuff inside of it. Were they in there?
No, these were privately. He surprised everyone, and he personally made these, or one of his friends made these, and he passed them out at the end of the show.
Oh shoot! Was it like a 3D printed token, or what was it?
It looks like a casino token.
they're like little chip. It looks like a casino chip. I'll try to put it on the chat, but one side says flip the
That's
stock market. One says, yeah, flip the stock market with your favorite logo. And then on the other side, believe in something.
So are these chips I can play poker with? Is that what I'm
Yes,
getting from
yes,
this?
yes.
No way. Okay. Well, with that being said, I think we need to get Aeon poker going at some point.
Yeah.
Because if we have chips that we can play with, then we really need to sort of bring this idea full circle.
Hey, Space,
I just want to. I want
to. Can I say something before we take off? So one of the themes out of this meeting was, it was very important to just let everybody feel this, is that a lot of people that were very shy or scared or very uncomfortable speaking or showing up, like Zarkan, he talked about how like it's like he's just terrified of talking and stuff like that. And there was a couple other people that for the first time had come around other people, and because they just for some reason couldn't be around people. It was really good to see that a lot of people at this conference were like actually taking a step towards a more positive life through SPX.
I love that. I mean, I relate to that too, because like here I am doing spaces. I am really a bad public speaker. It's not, speaking on spaces, speaking at a conference is even like a step above speaking on spaces. It takes a lot of guts to do it. And also, we're in the crypto space. People are abandoning their anonymity and are making personal connections with each other. So I think it's super profound that a lot of us made our way into crypto because we love the sort of anonymity aspect of things. And here we are, like connecting on a deep enough level that we want to go out of our way to actually meet people in person and get to see, like, behind the Aeon, like what's really going on underneath. So yeah, I noticed that. I saw and I heard some people alluding to like they don't normally do the public speaking thing. That was super cool to see, and you never would have known. So yeah, that was pretty amazing, and thank you, Jesse, for that, because you're right. I kind of noticed it because it was alluded to a couple of times by some of the speakers. Like I don't normally do this kind of thing, but yeah,
Word
that
out
was
to
special.
Lotus too. Word out to Lotus. He's very artistic.
Wait, was Lotus there?
Yeah.
I'm in big trouble. Yes.
Nice. Oh man, I'm so jealous. Yeah, like even Tony, when Tony got on for that panel, I knew Dubbing was going because I think Dubbing was tweeting like about his journey over here. But I didn't know Tony. Like I've only ever seen Tony on the timeline, like, and usually posting like kind of the like this daily sort of similar cadence. And yeah, it's just amazing to actually hear the backstories of these people and yeah, it just adds so much dimensionality to what SPX is. So it was really special that whether someone was on that sort of stage or not, people were sort of coming out of their shell and connecting with each other. That's amazing. I think on stage right now we have. Oh no, did he leave? We had Slow for a minute, but I don't think we have Slow anymore. But we do have Lord of Meme Coins. How are you?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, you were there, right? At South Carolina?
Yes, it was a spiritual experience. It was so awesome getting to hang out with all the Aeons, and it just brings a whole new dimension to the movement when you get that opportunity to connect with people in real life. A couple of things, I had to leave early. I think I left at like 5. I have to get to Oklahoma for some obligations, but I've obviously had some time to reflect between leaving the conference and now. Some things that people didn't see behind the scenes. Shout out to John, one of the Aeons, who smoked some brisket, and it was phenomenal. Getting to connect with him and his family. Just some really cool people. Learned a little bit about carnivore. So you just kind of get to see like people have all different types of experience. Obviously, Dr. Jesse was in the house. That was almost like a celebrity come to life. So that was really cool. And just one of the really big takeaways is I brought my spouse with me to the conference, and she knows that this is something that I do online and something that I'm very passionate about. But she's never really been involved. But during our drive back home, we were talking, and I think one of the big takeaways that she had from the conference was just how incredibly intelligent everyone is. A super big shout out to the 2 presenters, Mang, Cal. And not to rank anyone's, but like Cal, it really just set the tone. I truly, there were so many insights in that presentation, things that I hadn't thought about ever.
They call him Cow, but he's a goat.
Yeah. And then Mang, I didn't know the depth of your knowledge with GME, and I just got done listening to, I think one of the first maybe early podcasts that you did with Murad and Ton, and so it's like I'm just getting a better understanding of his involvement, and he was someone who was burned by, the turning off of the buy button. So it was like, oh wow, like this is an extremely in-depth knowledge. In a way, and an expertise that it seems as though he may have actually even had some experience in TradFi. I think I heard him talking about being a bond guy back in the day, and so it was like just the whole thing. PhDs in engineering, obviously freaking surgeons. Like the quality of human is just incredibly high, and I think I'll end on this. I'm sorry for rambling so much, but one of the things that I think was the biggest testament to what was going on in that room. Everyone in the room was familiar with SPX, right? We were all, for the most part, Aeons or Aeon affiliated, spouses and such. But there was one person who had no knowledge before that day of SPX6900, and it was a security guard, a gentleman named Austin. And midway through the conference, he'd been manning the door, obviously sees all of us come through, and I'm sure he could have thought so many things while standing there, but at some point he comes to me and he just starts talking about like hey, I'm really connecting with this, like there's something here, there's something that's speaking to me. And he starts telling me like how he's involved in parkour, in the parkour community, and explaining it to me, and how he thinks there's a lot of overlap between parkour and SPX6900. And as I had as kind of my theme throughout my portion that I participated in the panel was, I was like, like that is an art form. I said, I encourage you. I said, are you on X? He's like, no. I was like, do you have a Coinbase? Do you have a Phantom? I tried to get him. I wanted to send him some SPX. He was like, no, I don't have any of those things. I was like, okay, look, how about you just give me your phone number? I said, we'll get you one of those cards, where you can kind of download Phantom and then scan it and get some SPX and all that. And he and I have been texting a little bit. I told him, I said, hey, look, I want you to set up an X account. I said, do you have any recordings of you doing parkour? He said, yeah, I do. I said, all right, like, send me one. I'll edit it. I'll put in an SPX logo or something like that, and we'll introduce you to the Cognosphere. I said, go introduce yourself to Chad over there. Obviously you live here in South Carolina. Chad lives down the street. Like, he's one of the leaders in this leaderless community. So like, go connect with him. And I said, I'm sure everyone in this room will, share your first post. I shared this space with him. I don't know if he actually was able to join. He told me he had an X account, but it was like, he's like, I don't ever use it.
Well,
but I thought it was just like,
we got to call him up. Austin, if you're out there, come up on stage, request to speak, click the microphone, get up here if you can. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead, continue.
No, I completely agree. If he's out there, he needs to. But I thought that was a huge testament because, I can, and I have to imagine there are many other communities that one could be stationed as a security guard at, and maybe you wouldn't be as moved by what was being talked about. And so I thought that was a huge testament.
Man, that was an amazing recap from you. And I was super excited, number one, to see that you were there. And, similarly with the Juice, to be able to figure out who you actually were in the community, because I like your content. Your posts are great. But it's super cool that you were able to bring your significant other to this. And I feel like we can and should be doing more of that. This isn't like, I don't know. It's almost like people just need to experience it physically and firsthand, and suddenly it becomes so much more real to them. Because if you hear it just abstractly, oh, we're going to flip the stock market, you could see someone just writing that off. But the moment they engage with community, the content the community is working on, the thesis, etc., and even the memetics, like, to me, the memetics are, in a sense, the most powerful way of onboarding, because memetics sort of follow this path of least resistance. Like, it's funny, it's sticky, it's memorable, and it's what brought us all here. And like you said, the quality of person that has been attracted to this, I don't think has been limited by the memetics in any way. Like, I think sometimes it would be easy to say, the sort of like schizo exterior of this with all the crazy video content that we have could maybe obstruct people from academia from getting here. But here we all are. And like you said, the makeup of our community is there are doctors and surgeons, and, and when I say doctors, I mean also PhDs, and there are, people from all walks of life, engineers, as you said. So I don't think it's been a limiting factor at all, to have like the mimetic sort of exterior to this whole thing. There's a really good video. I don't know if anyone's seen it, but I think Murad did retweet it. It is Danko has released a video towards the competition that Murad has been reminding us of each weekend during volleyball. And the video, basically, I love it. Does a couple of things. I highly encourage you to take a look at it. Number one, it features a representation of Lumi, basically saying, "Oh, check out this video," like whatever. It's from Danko, who like isn't dead. Like, unfortunately, he's not dead. So Danko, just as a reminder, is the creator of Project Aeons, all these cool profile pictures that we're wearing. And so Danko has created this sort of, I want to say, alter ego. And so it points you to this YouTube link. And the YouTube link, if you follow it and you watch it, it's like 6 to 10 minutes. And it is this Aeon character, but like a 3D rendering of the Aeon character. And she's kind of going through like, what is SPX? And it talks about a lot of concepts, one of them being hyperstition and like the things that you think creating reality. So like you could believe something into existence, which is kind of what we're all doing. And it basically says like, yeah, like it's like this like cute and schizo thing on the outside, but that's just the costume, right? Because when you dig deeper into it, it's way more than that, right? So I think these conferences really allow us to see beyond the costume, like what are the sort of ideological undertones that have driven each one of us to feel this sense of conviction that we feel. So anyway, yeah, I really appreciate that sort of recap, Lord of Meme Coins. I totally agree that this is something that's sticky to people in all different areas. The fact that you're able to onboard a security guard at an event like this, that you easily could see a security guard being totally unimpressed, underwhelmed, because we are ultimately talking about a meme coin. But this is so much more than that. And like the fact that in a very short time you're able to sort of pique his interest, it speaks to that. And the fact that people are able to and willing to connect it to all the things they love. And in his case, parkour. But in many of our cases, all of the different things that we do, like you see Jesse doing like, he's like going in as a doctor to do a procedure, and he's like in his scrubs and he's like shilling the coin. So the fact that we are interested in connecting this to all the things that we love and are passionate about, it means something, I think.
Yeah, that's why we definitely don't want to limit memetics too much, because everybody has their own way of speaking and performing and doing the things that they enjoy. I mean, obviously the core memetics are very important, but I will say, speaking about the security guard, that surprised me as well. Just I didn't know if he was thinking we were crazy or what. I mean, maybe he did a little bit, but he was super interested. And what was even more interesting is midway through, when his shift ended, his dad took over. So apparently they do it together, I guess. And I was thinking his dad seemed like way more serious and way, like you wouldn't think would be into it. And he actually ended up buying some as well. So he got really into it as well. And the core messaging, which I think was the most appealing, is, hey, the system's broken, everything is fucked up. SPX represents hope, essentially. I think that to me is the most important thing we have to say, in my opinion. And I have to go in. I have to go in just a minute. I just wanted to say a couple things because we just did that. Just give me like 1 minute to monologue for a minute. But I wanted to say thank you to everyone who came. Thank you to everyone who participated. Shout out to John as well. I agree, Lord of Meme Cones. He brought that meat. It was totally unexpected. He also brought a delicious keg of beer that he created, which was really cool. And just so many other people that came that was unexpected. And it was just really cool to see everyone. And the participation was awesome. And I can't believe I got like 50 people to come to South Carolina, to be honest with you. So that proves to me, and my whole idea behind this was, hey, it doesn't have to be in Miami. Hey, it doesn't have to be in Amsterdam. It could be fucking anywhere. Doesn't matter. What makes the conference good is the people, not the location. So that's why. Also, we did this whole event. The entire event was $3,500. So when we talk about money and spending it, let's use it wisely. It was in the grand scheme of things extremely cheap. Now that doesn't include people's time, energy, and travel costs, of course, but just the event itself was $3,500. So I want to put that in people's minds when they're thinking about where to invest and where to put their time and energy into, is be thoughtful about cost, especially in these times. So you can do amazing events for cheap. So
I think that's a really valid point. I'm going to just agree with you on that and say, like, the ROI on like an in-person event is like insane. Like, you won't know it until you've been to one. But once you've been to one, yeah, like you can run one of these things, like SFC just said, for reasonably very low cost, and create an amazing and very sort of special historical moment for the project. And that's what SFC has done. And I would have liked to have given you a really nice intro before your monologue, but we're
Oh,
gonna
my apologies.
no, not a problem at all. We're going to just pause right now to give SFC a round of applause. And I hope people in the audience will like react with crazy emojis, because SFC deserves all of the flowers right now, and everyone who contributed something to this event. So let's just give SFC and all coordinators of this event their proper due, and abuse the soundboard a little bit.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you for everything. And SFC, I do agree with you. I think you're right that like there are so many different voices in SPX that memetics manifest differently to different voices. I agree with that. In fact, I thought it was particularly endearing, I'm going to say, that you had the sort of Chang SPX man journey at the sort of like towards the ending of the conference, because I have had a very complex set of thoughts surrounding SPX Man, because definitely the aesthetic is not there, but it was a very critical moment in SPX lore, and it ended up creating a lot of really good content. But
it's not all about beauty and whatever. It's about, it was just funny.
It is. No, it is. It's, you know what? I've actually come around to loving SPX Man, and you can appreciate it a little bit more, especially when you hear like the narration from Chang. So yeah. Anyway, I thought that was super awesome that you shared that. What prompted you to sort of include that in the scheduling?
Because so Amsterdam was absolutely incredible and it was amazing, and I love the STPC documentary. But I thought, okay, we can't put together anything like that. Let's make a documentary about SPX, man, and let's let Chang just do a little quick whatever. And that was really it. We thought it was funny. It was like, yeah, y'all did that, but we got the SPX man documentary. That was the whole fault there. So
that's brilliant.
That was the whole thought. It was honestly was lampooning the Amsterdam documentary. That was really the main purpose. But I wanted to say two more things. The reason why I mentioned cost too is like you said, we have really, really amazing people. The people provided the content. There's so many great people. And if you're trying to figure, I mean, literally everybody that spoke has been on my podcast. That's how I knew who to ask. Like I knew Tony because I'd spoken to him. I knew he was like worked at Google. He knows all about AI. I know dubbing and all the other folks. Also, okay, so that's the reason why I said about the cheapness. The other thing is there was somebody who came. His name is Mark Twain on X. He is 65 years old. We had technically a boober come to the conference, and he freaking loved it. And that I just thought that was so cool and amazing that somebody who of that age could really, really enjoy it. So don't think. And that was another reason why I wanted to do the Gen Z, Gen X panel. It's like age is not a limiting factor. Everybody, there's something positive to be had from everybody. Maybe if you're older, you just lean into the community part. Maybe you're okay financially, but there's still something special there. And there was another thought, but that's all I got really. I appreciate everybody coming though, and I appreciate all the people who watched the live stream. So,
are there any prospects of you running this annually, do you think?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Awesome. Okay, so I'll be there next year as a party of 3.
More people bring your kids, bring your wife or husband or your significant other, whatever. Girl Ape brought his girlfriend, which was cool too. And shout out to Girl Ape and Jesse. They've been to all of them, and as have I. But it's really cool that they came. And Jesse surprised us all. So he was thinking he wasn't going to be able to, but he was able to, which is really cool. And that's it. I do have to go, but I did want to speak a little bit. But appreciate it.
No, it was really an honor having you up here at all. I figured this weekend we might not catch you. We might have to wait a week, but thanks for joining us, and please get some well-deserved rest.
Appreciate it. Talk to you later.
Take care.
Thank you, Chad.
Hey, I just have one last shout out before I pass the phone to Saucy and Nick. A special thank you to finally meeting Slow. That was so freaking special. And we had some Chinese cigarettes. And and the commandant officer, Blaze. I had the fortunate opportunity to stay at the Bronze House and meet one of the generals. So that was special. And all I could say is, I don't think the Cognisphere is ready what the Bronze Army plans to do.
Wait, I was just gonna say, can we get a little bit of intel, because I've been seeing them tease July 1st. So I don't know. Can we get a leak of some sort?
Not by me. I am
That's fair.
not by me, but
Only the generals know.
only the general knows.
Infantry.
Yeah, I'm just a peon.
Dejuice, are you Bronze Army?
No.
It's okay. I'm not either, even though I tried.
Shout out, I did see
Lobster.
Lobster. Yeah. So I'm gonna
Mod supporter went to the conference, right?
yeah.
That's so sick. What's he like in person?
He's cool. He's cool. He's a really nice guy.
I feel like he's always posting like just with the most positive energy. Like super
Yeah, he's
chill.
got a lot of
Yeah.
he's got a lot of positive energy. Just super chill, outgoing. Loved it.
That's so dope. All right, so you're in the car right now. Does this mean Nick is awake?
Yeah, he's just wait.
I can tell you what we did last night.
Let's hear it.
So first of all, shout out to everyone that did really well. I was hoping Batman was able to make it to that generational panel, but we had me, Slow, and Jesse, so it was a good spread. Everyone said I spoke intelligently. I don't know. I was on there with Jesse, so I was like, damn, I felt like Cryptic Mong on Fifth Flip the Stock Market with all those smart people. But yeah, everyone did freaking amazing, and I'm glad more Gen Zers were there. We had like probably 2 to 3 times, like 2 times as many people than we did in Miami, because we did have some like you remember Space. We had like some people that were Aeons that kind of came and visited the event.
That's
but,
right. Yeah.
I was really happy with the turnout. Like Friday night, we all met up at this beer garden once we were done our road trip. And I was like, damn, like there's so many of you guys here. Like, can't wait till the event tomorrow. There's gonna be more people.
All your pictures from the beer garden gave me the most FOMO ever, because I'm like, oh, they're hanging out for the event. That's like the best part.
Yeah. And then after, I was like, oh, I'm so tired. But Personality and Fugo were like, nah, Nick, we gotta go out and chill. Come on, we need you. And then Cash and his wife met up with us eventually. So we had a good amount of us, and we were chilling. The first night, me and Personality met this guy. He got to download Kraken right away, sent him some coins. And then we had the cards from those onboarding cards from the event, and he was giving those out to the bar. And me and Fugo were just going around, like, talking to people. It was great. That's why I was sleeping a lot, because I woke up at like 8 a.m. to get in the car with these guys. Now I'm awake. I hope you guys enjoyed my little motivational stuff at the end. I was hoping Unk saw that beer chug. Unk, I see you in the crowd. I know you're a little bit faster than me, but I hope you were impressed by that. And that motivation at the end, I hope that fired you guys up to keep persisting and keep doing what we're doing and fighting the good fight.
Unk would probably come to the stage, but he's possibly tending to his pet deer. Maybe.
Yeah. I also
I do want to give a shout out to a couple of people. Again, I think Southern Fried Chad, what he did was amazing. And in general, people like Southern Fried Chad, people like T-Dog, these are the kinds of self-starters that we need to look up to. Also, both Cows and Manj's presentations were absolutely amazing. Really, really great stuff. Looking forward to both of those being posted on YouTube as well as on Twitter as a standalone thing next week. Also, Chang had an amazing video. Jordan Riz had an amazing video as well. And Spacey, the video, both the short video and the long video that Danko has released today, they were really awesome, and they're really giving that 2023 vibes of SPX culture. You know what I mean?
Totally. And thank you for pinning it. I didn't notice that. Thanks for doing that.
Absolutely. And yeah, I just pinned it on the Jumbotron. So everybody who's on this Spaces right now, watch Danko's latest video and retweet it as well, and boost it on YouTube as well. It's really amazing and motivating. Danko really, SMP Hater, I was chatting with him earlier today. He put it well. He said, I generally don't love like 3D AI videos, but Danko has like a good taste for these kinds of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was going to say what I felt was the most amazing about Danko's video, aside from it feeling like there was some actual like personality and sense of humor to it, was that the aesthetic visually kind of gives that like Y2K kind of feel, which is something we used to channel, especially in 2023.
Especially because he added all the Tamagotchis and the PlayStation this
The
and all of that.
contextual elements that like let you
Right.
know what era he's kind of talking about. Yeah, I agree.
As we talk about this, I do want to remind people there's still 4 days left of the YouTube competition that we have running. I always say, and I still maintain that that's the case. I think we live in a videocracy, and producing a lot of video content is super, super important. And that's something I encourage everybody who is either good at video making, video editing, talking, public speaking, whatever you're good at, make videos about it. And so we have a YouTube competition running right now. It's going to finish on July 1st. So in case you are already working on something or thinking of doing something, still a few days left of that. 50,000 SPX prizes that are going to be distributed among the top 10 video creators. So super, super excited about that. Also, I do want to give a shout out to Benevolent Blaze. He gave a really, really amazing and inspiring speech during the open mic part of yesterday's conference. And I think a lot of people really, really enjoyed it. And it was almost like, you know, when you get like shivers down your spine when like the song is really amazing or when somebody's saying something that's extremely motivating. That's the feeling that I personally got from it. That was really, really amazing. So shout out to Benevolent Blaze. And I was really happy to see Tony Ma there as well. It's interesting because, you know, generally among the Aeons, you have a lot of sort of these people that are naturally drawn to like alternative things, kind of like fringe movements, people that are a bit like hippie, a bit out there, alternative, etc. Right? But with Tony Ma, YouTube software engineer, so he works for Google essentially, right? And it's interesting because even the people that are like super STEM or are more mathematically oriented in their mind or are more sort of how should I say it, more sort of numerically driven and that work on the cutting edge of technology, they can also see where this is going, right? Like they know that, you know, machines are going to be replacing a lot of these jobs. And they can see, even though people that are close to sort of much closer to like technology, AI, computers, programming, they can sense what the end game is, right? And the end game is, as Aeon Reborn always says, that the end game is tokenized communities. The end game is tokenized movements, right? The end game is tokenized spirituality. And I think SPX6900 is like Nietzsche, way before its time. But when the time comes, it's going to be the thing that absorbs this realization, right? Because inevitably, all of these jobs are going to be replaced. So people will need to find a sanctuary. And I think the sanctuary is going to be digital. It's going to be decentralized. It's going to be very like diamond-handed at the blockchain level. And it's going to, most importantly, I think it's going to have the most ambitious mission, right? Because all these other coins or movements or communities, and yeah, it's just like people having fun, but having that super sticky mission that really inspires people to be here already, it's going to be almost 3 years. In 2 months, it's going to be 3 years, right? And some of the people on the call right now, they've been here for 3 years, right? It's going to be 2 years for me. It's going to be 3 years for Spacey. And it's going to be like 2.5 years for half of the people on this call right now, right? And very few things in life have all of these ingredients in order, right? So I'm very excited about the coming months, coming quarters. And I think as long as we persist forever, as long as we continue diamond handing, as well as experimenting and creatively coming up with new ways to put this in front of more and more people, then we're going to win, right? And, you know, I tell some of the other people in the community sometimes, you know, we say like the same thing and sometimes they can get repetitive, but we need to understand that 99.999% of the world has not heard about this yet, right? So actually, I strongly believe, I've always said this, repetition is very powerful, right? And it's better to have like 7, 8 taglines or 7, 8 mottos or 7 to 8 rules that we stick to and that we continue kind of religiously repeating over and over again rather than not, right? So I do think repetition is a very, very powerful thing. And as long as we keep persisting, having events, having spaces, having these like really unorthodox ways of putting this in front of new people's eyes, then we're going to win. And Just think about it, right? A lot of people, I think Maddox has already noted this on Twitter the other day. He said, other than BTC, Ethereum, and Solana, which other coin is having all of these events, is having all of these conferences, is having people persist for what's going to be years now, right? And I think it's only a matter of time. I think we're very close to what I've been describing as critical mass. So I'm very excited for the months ahead.
I love what you just said. Like, there are two things I want to sort of highlight that you just said, and I also see we have Slow. So Slow, I'm going to get to you in just a minute. But the first thing that you said is like the importance of repetition. There is no chart. We repeat this a million times a day, a million, or like a million times a week, maybe, in response to people. But it keeps the culture kind of pure. Like, we're going to flip the stock market. The target is trillions. Like, so I totally agree. I think the repetition element is good. And similarly, I also agree the experimentation side of things is super important. If you look at the history of SPX, it was experimental from the beginning. Like, we were the first meme coin to bridge to Solana. We were the first meme coin to bridge to Base. We were the first meme coin to intentionally have these LPs with other meme coins. And it was like all community funded and all community driven. But it was experimental, and like it wasn't something that people were really doing at the time that we had done it. So it was a risk, right? There's like, is it going to be worth it? Are there going to be problems that arise as a result of doing this? We don't really know, but maybe it's worth an attempt. And I'm picturing Idea Hazard posting that, like, that notorious meme of, like, I guess it's 4chan, one life, it's worth the attempt, or something like that. I don't remember the exact wording. But yeah, so I think experimenting is critical. I think like the pinned video that Dengo has created is another iteration of how we're starting to experiment with media. And yeah, I think we should continue to do so. Murad pointed out our 3-year sort of anniversary is coming, August 16th. And I think we should, as a community, start thinking about what we want to do both online and in person that can sort of celebrate this 3-year anniversary. We launched August 16th in 2023. Obviously, none of us are the devs. The dev got out very early on, but many of us have been here since pretty close to the very beginning, or since the beginning completely. So I do think we should start brainstorming together and figure out what we could do in August that might like help us celebrate. Obviously, we'll probably do a Twitter space, but I think we could do more than that. Maybe plastering up some cities with some posters. But yeah, so I'm just putting that out there. I think that would be a good move. But we do have Slow on stage, and Slow is obviously, I consider you like an icon in the community, but I also consider you to be someone who is very protective of like the culture of SPX. So I wanted to give you your flowers, give you a huge shout out. You're a great addition in terms of like the podcasts, and you're a really powerful voice in the community. But I want to hear about your experiences at the South Carolina conference. So tell us all about it. Tell us your highlights, your experiences, etc., if you don't mind.
Yeah. Hey, everyone. Very kind words, Spacey. I'm humbled. It was really crazy, honestly, being there. Partially because it felt like every person I was like meeting for the first time was also a celebrity who I also already knew for like 2 years. But like it was still this like crazy kind of duality, surreal feeling, It was awesome. But oh, sorry, I'm also driving, and I probably won't talk long. And if I start like cutting out, just cut me off.
Nope,
and
no
save
problem.
yourself.
Be safe, and yeah, we'll listen as long as we can.
Yeah. One thing I was going to say, Spacey, is last week you had told me to remind you of something, and the best you're going to get is that I'm reminding you of that. I don't remember what that
Holy
thing
crap,
was.
me either.
That's the best you're going to get out of me. But the other thing, one thing I was going to say was when there were multiple times during the conference where like I hopped on my phone, to like get in the YouTube chat, because it was sort of this weird feeling. I've like been a part of 2 conferences online now, like been there for the whole thing, and that is itself like an experience. And there was, believe it or not, there was almost this weird feeling of FOMO of like, I'm also missing out on like the online experience of the thing. And there was one point too where I think some people were talking on the panel, and everyone in the YouTube chat was like, put the chat up on the screen behind them, you know, so they can like see what we're saying. And I actually thought that was actually like a brilliant fucking idea for next time, because it would just add a whole nother layer of like integration between online and offline, and really a level of connection too, because like the people who are there experiencing it could also be seeing what everyone is experiencing online as well, like at the same time, and it'd be even more of like a we're all there together sort of a feeling. So that was say what, Paulie?
1000% we should do that. Amazing idea, bro.
Yeah. No, I think it would be cool. At least cool to try it, even if it was just like a TV off to the side or something where it's, you know, playing the recording and you can see the live chat. Something like that would just be like a ton of fun.
You could even have people in the live chat be part of the panel. Like, say you're doing the generational panel and you had another guy in the chat. You could say, "Okay, now to you," because they're watching, right? And they can respond right away.
Yeah. There's definitely cool ways that we could keep integrating it. Which it would just be awesome. But the main thing I wanted to say was like, it was really amazing to meet everyone. I was talking to Cal at one point after the conference, and I had told him, I was like, you might not know it, but I'm actually like super introverted and like a quiet person in general. I don't do like social events. I don't like parties. I'm not a conference guy, you know. I've been to like some work conferences before and wanted to blow my brains out. So like, anyways, I know it's kind of weird because I guess everyone only sees like this side of me, but it was genuinely like really kind of crazy to be someone that has like pretty high levels of social anxiety and that does not enjoy being around crowds of people. But like the level of familiarity and comfort that like everyone just had with each other, it was a surreal experience to be in a room of like 50 people and not, you know, have a ton of anxiety the whole time or whatever. So yeah, also too, like, sorry if I said anything weird to anyone at the conference. Like, I was hyped up on energy drinks and anxiety and all kinds of lack of sleep. Chad had only slept like 1 hour the night before, so he was running on nothing. Grillig drove all night long and was running on fumes. Everyone was like half exhausted and half exhilarated. So yeah, anyways, love you guys. It was really amazing. I can't wait for the next one and all that.
Love you so much, Slow. There were a lot of things that you said in that I really, really deeply also feel. One of them being like with that level of anxiety and still miraculously feeling some level of like comfort and being able to be social and be communicative, even if it's like not your natural state of being. There's something deeper to that. I don't know what it is, but I experienced it in Miami. Like I was like afraid to speak on a panel because I don't do public speaking. But, like there's something, maybe it has something to do with like when you have this resonance of purpose and like somehow that, I don't know, like lifts you out of that anxiety or something. Another thing is like, if you think about how much time we all put into SPX, like none of us are probably spending this much time with like even most of our loved ones and family members. So like in a way, it's almost like a more intimate connection than you share with like most other people in your surroundings.
Yeah, can I interrupt you on that? Because I agree, and I did want to say one other thing, which was I got to meet Blaze, Juice, and Saucy all shared a Airbnb, and like cool thing about that, and like the like craziest, best, like euphoric moments I had was not during the conference, but before and after, and like just getting to connect with people. Because like you said, we actually do spend like so much fucking time with each other. That like it was as fun as like connecting with each other like this, but we were all sitting there together and laughing and seeing each other smile and hugging each other. It was just like a very human experience that a lot of us don't get to experience all the time now. So
I'm so jealous.
yeah, so I'm gay. Stop trading and believe in something.
You're ready to keep not trading and believing in something.
yeah, that's what. Unless you're trading workout tips.
That's right. The only thing we trade are workout tips, especially after I have this baby. I'm going to need a lot of those. Oh man, yeah. I'm super jealous that you got to hang out with all of these people, and that, like, man, I'm the kind of person who would have been like the Jesse, the SFC, like the Gorilla Ape, like literally chasing these conferences and attending all of them. So the fact that I'm in a position where I kind of need to stay somewhat close to home, I guess indefinitely, it's really not indefinite, but indefinitely until like this baby comes is so depressing to me. So I'm missing all the good stuff. Um, but I'm really enjoying sort of living vicariously through you guys. And I think you make a really good point, Slow, that we could do more in the future in the way of integrating the people who are fully participating online. Like most of the people who were in that chat, I wasn't typing in the chat, but I was kind of watching it. Like most of those people stuck around the entire time. Like, and that that's a whole, like, that's basically double, I guess, the amount of people that were at the conference that were participating the entire time. And maybe you might have lost like 25% of additional people, like throughout, intermittently joining in and out. But yeah, I think we could do more to integrate. I like the concept that you mentioned, putting the chat behind what's happening. So if we're streaming a presentation and there's a PowerPoint up, it would be cool to be able to have like a log of the chat happening like on the side of the screen. It's like anytime you watch a Twitch and someone is streaming, usually you can see the conversation that's happening. So it doesn't feel far off. Definitely something I think is worth accomplishing for the next conference. And yeah, like I think maybe it was someone else. I can't remember who said it. Maybe it was Paulie. I don't remember. But yeah, like even if we get some panel members coming from that sort of internet audience too, that's a cool concept. But yeah, that's kind of the nice thing about us all being able to sort of voyeuristically experience these conferences is we could say like, oh, like from an outsider's perspective, here's how I could have been more connected to it. Or from like you were actually missing out. And I feel like that's a perspective I hadn't considered, but you're physically there and now you're missing out on the online experience. And
because it's kind of funny, but the whole time it was like, man, half of my best friends are here, just like in my pocket. They're just not physically right around here, but they've been here all 6 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I think it's valid because I also found myself and I think I hadn't put it into words, but I found myself wanting to check the Telegram and stuff when we were doing the Miami one. So, yeah, I think that's a really good point. Like, what are people talking about on their end? Do they even have the complete sense of what's going on here? And actually, those were some of my favorite parts, the in between, like the in between the cows talk and the first panel, hearing just people talking to each other and trying to figure out like what voices am I even hearing, and based on the context, can I figure it out? Or so yeah, that's kind of another artifact that we might want to consider, just being able to witness the interactions like from sort of the other POV. Like if you were the one sort of like, I don't know if the audio for the clapping wasn't coming through, so I don't know if there was a no clapping policy or it was like a noise canceling thing. But yeah, it would have just been interesting to have sort of like looking out from, if you were sitting on the stage, like what is that view of what's going on? So yeah, there were, obviously I was just missing out on the whole thing entirely. But yeah, I think one of these days we're just going to have like an SPX film crew, so that, because like I don't know, we have community members that are doing this, and I just want like SFC and all these people who contribute to like the media sort of aspect of things to just be able to be a part of the event itself and enjoy the event itself without worrying about logistical things. So yeah, we also need to figure that aspect out at some point, maybe. I hear someone unmuted, but I can't see you, so please feel free to speak.
Someone has their hand up, I think.
Oh, who has their hand up? And go,
I do. Mako.
Mako, I'm sorry, my phone, it's hot right now because I'm charging it, and I think I can't see you.
No.
So go for it.
No worries. Hi,
Welcome
everyone.
to the stage. Sorry about that.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it. So, just I guess a heads up disclosure. I used to be the SPX Bull. For some reason, my account got suspended. I don't know why. I think there was
Oh no.
a number of us. Yeah, a number of us.
I also got suspended, Mako, so you're not alone.
Yeah, it's weird, but some of you may know me formerly as the SPX Bull. But yeah, it's good to be back here. Just want to give a shout out to everyone who's been participating and contributing, from the IRL events to the films and everything in between. It's greatly appreciated. I am full ported into SPX. I tell everyone about it. I am so committed to this community and cause. It just resonates with me like nothing has before. I just kind of like the idea of flipping a big middle finger to the traditional financial system. I don't know. It's just when I first heard about SPX. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can you guys hear me?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, no. So I was saying, when I first heard about SPX, funny enough, my first exposure into memes came in the form of SHIB in 2021. I kind of round tripped my bag, but then I sold it off, and I really wasn't into memes anymore. I just thought they were ridiculous until I saw Murad's keynote speech at Token 2049, and it just clicked with me. And then, Murad, you mentioned about SPX, and I just started doing more research on it, and just the mission resonated with me like nothing ever before. And that was it for me. So I've been committed. I tell everyone I know about it. I try to do my part. Behind the scenes, not to pat myself in the back, because the traction is sometimes there, sometimes not. But like, I reach out to like journalists just to get it on their radar, including like the New York Times, CNBC, Cheddar. So I'm trying to do my part. I want to figure out ways to do more. But I love this community. I love what we stand for. And just a quick question for you, Murad, since I know we have no charts, but since you did release a video a few months ago about 108 reasons or so why we're still in a bull market, 4-year cycle, still a thing or no?
It's difficult to give a concrete answer. I think by the time of October and November, it will be clear. I think if we are in a 4-year cycle so far, BTC is actually dropping less than in previous 4-year cycles. Actually, after the last volleyball practice spaces, somebody messaged me and they were like, I don't want to hear you talk about 4-year cycles. It's like, but I was like, you know what? I thought to myself, if it's still a 4-year cycle, I was like in my mind, we're probably already over half of the bear market. And then I actually Googled it, and we were, believe it or not, at the 69% mark in terms of the time since between October 2025 and October 2026, right? But either way, whether we are or we aren't in a 4-year cycle, I actually don't think it matters, because if we aren't, you just continue pushing no matter what. And if we are, then we're 70% done with the bear market anyway, right? So in a perfect world, SPX6900 would decouple from BTC and ETH price action. And I think there will be some I think there will be some weeks or months in the future where that's going to happen. But at the end of the day, it's good for us if BTC quote unquote behaves. So if we're 70% done with the bear market, then so be it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And it's just interesting if the 4-year cycle is in fact a thing and still intact, the massive shelling point that it is that causes people to sell off and really believe. I didn't think it would be as much in effect again if it is still a thing, but I guess if it is, then it's a really powerful shelling point. But as crypto moves more or less to the beat of Bitcoin's drum, and as quickly as it goes down, it violently goes back up. So I think my personal opinion, I think we're close to the bottom, and but to your point, that doesn't matter long term. But
Do you mind if I add something to that?
Sure.
First of all, great to hear you up here, Mako. After my presentation, I don't know if anyone heard Jesse ask the question. I think the mics got passed around, so hopefully it came through on the audio. But he basically asked the question about my bear base bull case.
When
If
you
the current
said we were going bear case, we go to 0. Yeah.
Right. Which, it's like trying to be the entire purpose of my presentation was to hopefully be evergreen content that like maybe someone who dismisses this as not having much depth can share or ingest and it not feel completely unapproachable. But he got me thinking, and Blaze asked a similar question, and it's kind of like the bear case for SPX, or I guess the broader crypto market, is actually a stronger bull case for SPX. And the longer that the crypto market is generally weak, the harder it is for like worse networks and worse coins to like sort of maintain their relevancy and maintain their network effects. And it actually makes SPX an even bigger vortex. So like, whether we're in a 4-year cycle or a bull or a bear, what have you, like whatever you want to call this right now. I mean, I certainly don't think it's like a bull market, but I actually think it's making us far stronger. And my main takeaway, having met everyone in person, which was incredible, and not everyone, but you know what I mean, was the energy was magnetic, and you start to realize like how much this means to everyone, and that we can't allow this to fail. Like we have to do whatever it takes to make this happen. And that is like such an incredible energy that like I just, the security guard story was amazing. And I actually talked to the security guard briefly, and he specifically told me, because I was like, thank you for keeping us safe. And he was like, I haven't been doing anything. I've just been listening intently. And I was like, that's very specific wording, but you can just see how much it resonates with everyone. And as a final point, I brought a friend who I've been sending stuff to for like a year. And he's just generally a very curious guy. So I knew he would like this, and he did. And I mean, his mind was blown by the end. He had like a list of questions he was writing down, and Manj and I drove him home, and like, you could just see how much the authenticity and like the infectiousness of the energy had caught on to him like a mind virus in literally 5 hours of presenting and talking and all that kind of stuff. So I think don't for everyone here, like don't underestimate the impact of like getting together and showing people like what this means and what a powerful symbol it is to, not to be dramatic, but like sort of the oppressors, that we don't have to stand for that, and we can sort of build alternative means.
I agree with that personally. I also sometimes wonder, and that's very well said, Cal, so thank you for that. I also sometimes wonder if there are too many friction points to get people onboarded into SPX. Like I live in New York, the friction points are kind of there because it's not on any centralized exchanges. So you have to buy ETH, SOL, whatever, do a swap. So that's one thing I've helped some people overcome, but when they hear about the multi-steps, I don't know, maybe the message doesn't resonate to them. So it's something I wonder if there are just too many friction points. And then the other part where I do think being in a bull market or not being in a bear market matters is that maybe people would be more receptive to what we're trying to do in a bull market. I don't know. But I sometimes weigh that against like true believers or passive believers. I don't know what to make of it, because like we're in a bear market. I'm still buying. I'm a true believer, but you don't want to necessarily onboard, what's the word I'm looking for? Tourists. You don't want to onboard tourists either. So I don't know. I sometimes wonder if we're in an environment where there are too many friction points and people not open to the message. I don't know. I wonder if anyone has thoughts on that.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and I would just add that like that's true. And just because we tell someone about what this is and what it stands for doesn't mean that they need to take action right away. But the seeds are planted, and I guess if we zoom out from any individual like case, then we realize that like we're just consistently making the base stronger, such that whenever they do have interest to act, like hopefully whatever ride they're getting on is far stronger, and that's just continuously happening. It's crazy to look back at. Manj and I listened to a Crypto Compass with Murad and Tans last year, and we this was like right before we had recorded the first ever FTSM, and we were just excited about the idea of like getting on TikTok and starting to make video content. And it's like 6 months ago, we had just had our first event really ever that was more, I guess, open. So yeah, I don't disagree that there is still some friction and all that good stuff, but I think the longer that I guess quote unquote real believers have to get involved, the stronger it is for anyone else who happens to take an interest.
For sure. And I will say I've had similar experiences. Like when I tell people about SPX, if they buy right away, and I've had instances where people bought right away, like they got it, great. I've had instances where people thought it was the dumbest shit they've ever heard, sorry for my language, and then they ended up buying it a year later. They finally got it. And then there are people who still make fun of me, but the thing is, they know about it. And I'm like, listen, you might never be a holder, you might never believe, but it's on your it's on your radar at least. You know, like every time they say like, "Oh, you're the SPX guy," you know, like especially at the gym, I'm like, listen, it's not for you, it's not for you, but maybe in the future it will be. But the fact is, you know about it, and that's what I try to do. I try to, I think marketing is like Coca-Cola. Everyone knows Coca-Cola. Why do they spend so much money on marketing? It's top of mind awareness, and that's why I tell, I would encourage everyone here, tell everyone you know about SPX6900. Even if they don't buy it, even if they throw shade at it, you're putting it on their radar. And you know what? I forgot who said it. It could have been Michael Saylor or someone else, but in terms of Bitcoin, said you buy Bitcoin at the price you deserve, you buy SPX6900 at the price you deserve. So bring it up to everyone. Friends, neighbors, everyone in between, just get it on their radar. And you know what? If they want to learn more, they'll learn more.
Yeah, very well put, Mako. I want to jump on to one of the points that you made and just add like a little bit of personal experience. I work as a teacher at a local high school, and all of my coworkers in the science department knew about SPX back in 2023 and 2024. And at the time, it was just like you said, there was too much friction to them getting exposure to it, but they were intrigued. They liked the memes I was showing them. And they really waited until I want to say September of this year, 2025. And then all of a sudden, once one person did it, because, it was in the back of their heads, they're still hearing about it. They're like, what is this thing? My friends who are, OGs in Bitcoin know about this. And why is it on their radar and all this stuff? And so eventually one person bought. And once that one person bought, it was like a contagion in a sense. And it was like, you know what? Like, it is funny. It is still on people's radar. No one has stopped like working towards it within the community. It's stronger than ever before. Let's just go for it. And then it was like you said, I live in New York also. So we have even more friction to people getting exposure than like most states in the US. I think like New York and Hawaii are the most regulated out of every state. And so, I had to write up like a step-by-step process. If you're going to go about it this way, because you want to set up a Coinbase account, this is how you're going to do it. So you start them from the centralized exchanges, you get them transferring to a DeFi wallet, you get them to figure out how to swap, and you want them to swap safely so they're not getting like screwed over. Within each transaction, like being sandwiched and all this stuff. So maybe they're using cow swap. So anyway, but those materials that I made for them, once I did it, once it was written out step by step, they were happy to go for it. And once one person knew how to do it, that person was happy to help other people do it. And in a way, they felt like they were the expert because they were the ones who could sort of walk other people through it. And one of my coworkers made a really good point. And she said, like, I stumbled on Murad's YouTube channel, and why don't you hold a get together with the whole department where sort of like a Tupperware party, but instead of it being a Tupperware party, like we're watching together the Token 2049 thesis video or, whatever it is. And I thought, like, what a brilliant idea to create sort of like a social gathering around this thing that people have abstractly heard about in conversation at work, but bring it out of the context of work. Have like a little like pizza party or something, and like give people the resources they need so that they can actually get onboarded. And so, Mako, I think to your point, we can reduce the friction by creating informational content, and I think it would be worth doing. So I'm happy to contribute to that. And yeah, I think you make a very valid point. But definitely,
Thank you, and
yeah, go for it. Sorry.
no, I love everything you brought up, like the viewing parties and whatnot. You know what? I might DM you, and maybe we can brainstorm on ways to get Coinbase to list SPX in New York. I know it's listed everywhere else. I don't know. Maybe we can brainstorm on ways to like get like a petition or something. Maybe they have plans for it. I don't know. I wish they did. I mean, listen, it's not that big of a deal to swap,
Yeah.
but just out of convenience
Yeah.
factor, it would be nice to just buy it on the native platform and send it to cold storage.
Totally. Yeah, but I will say the increased friction does sort of filter out the tourists that you were referring to. So, like, if
That
someone's
is true.
willing to jump through the hoops, number one, they get to own their own tokens, which is a great thing. And they kind of get this forced exposure to DeFi and like being your own bank in a sense. But no, I agree with you. I still think it's worth pursuing the other paths as well.
For sure.
And I'd love to brainstorm with you. So just hit me up in DMs and we'll talk more.
Sounds great. And I just want to, that's all I want to say for this session, but thank you everyone for letting me speak. It's been an honor, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where we take this. It's really exciting. It's one of the things that puts a pep in my step, I mean, I have my family, I have my hobbies, but it's one of those things that definitely, it confuses me with like juice, so I thank everyone here for everything you're doing.
No, thank you so much. And since we're both in New York, I think we'll probably be in touch regardless, because it seems like a bunch of us are hoping to start sort of like semi-regular meetups within some of the bigger cities, or really just any city. Like SFC was saying, it doesn't have to ever be in a major city. People are going to come out to flip the stock market or to channel their sort of like anti-establishment sort of sentiment. So definitely we'll get something together in the New York area, and maybe you could help plan it even with some of the other Aeons in New York.
For sure. We'll brainstorm.
Nice. And by the way, Mako, we're doing these every week at this time. So, feel free to come up on stage any day, anytime you see these.
Will do. Thank you.
And I feel like I do remember your account, but how long ago did you get rugged?
That was probably back in March. I'm sorry, I have my daughter next to me. She's making noise, but probably back in March. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. No. Don't be sorry. Future Aeon.
Future Aeon. Oh, she knows. Can you say flip the stock market?
Flip the stock market.
There you go.
Let's go. we're lucky to have you on our team.
Thank you.
Awesome. Super, super awesome.
Hey,
I don't know.
hey, real quick, can I say one thing?
Oh, please do. Yeah.
I'm just going to say this and then I'm going to step down, but I wanted to bring attention to Cryptic Manja's post that he made. I know Juice, I think Juice mentioned it earlier, but I put this up on the Jumbotron. JVS's onboarding cards were really amazing, and I think most people are, at least I'm too retarded to like figure out how it worked myself, but looking at it, it was really super easy. And you guys were talking about the security guard. There was pizza delivered after the conference, and I got to talk to the delivery guy for a minute, and I gave him one of those cards. I asked him, I was like, hey, are you into crypto? And he was like, yeah, I know crypto. I know a little bit or whatever. And I was like, dude, we just had a conference. Like, that's you just delivered pizza to the SPX conference, and here's this card. Like, just scan the QR code, and it'll walk you through it. He was like really excited, and those cards are just so fucking easy to use. So like, huge, massive thanks to Chaves for what he's doing with that, and really encourage everyone to look at those and really consider trying to get your hands on some of them. So anyways, love you guys.
Love you so much. Thank you for pointing that out. I'm looking at it right now and reading through it, and this looks like an incredible onboarding tool. So definitely shout outs to JVS. Thank you for doing these. And yeah, I think having something like this, which is kind of like, gift boarding people some tokens, but also telling them in terms of like the logistical things for like write down your seed phrase, etc. Super critical, just to make sure people have proper access to the tokens that you're gift boarding them with. So yeah, I think this is a great sort of a great model to follow. And there are a couple of other people in the community doing similar things. Shout outs to everyone who has made gift boarding possible at these events. I love the concept of, the person who's delivering the pizza to the event, onboarding them. Super brilliant. So good shout, Slow. Appreciate that. The last point that I personally wanted to make, and then Murad, you could take over if anyone else wants to. Oh, sorry. Do we have someone on stage? Please speak. I can't see you. I'm sorry. I don't know who it is.
Hey, Spacey. It's Aeon Reborn. I just wanted to
nice.
say
Thank you. Good to see you.
Yeah, likewise. I kind of been joining a bit late, but just wanted to also kind of to add my perspective. Having been on the other side, I've been following the conference remotely. Amazing event. Shout out to all the guys participating. Cal, Cryptic Mange, Blaze, all the guys in the panel. Amazing job. In particular, I just wanted to do kind of shout out to also dubbing. I think it was I don't remember in the first or second panel, but like what he said in that comment, it essentially was saying that, for some, and that's kind of very generational. For some of us, SPX may be the first the first crypto community, a real crypto experience. For some others, we saw BTC, we saw ETH, and essentially, I think the message was that we're not going to be satisfied until we've extracted and really redistributed wealth from where it needs to be redistributed from, right? And kind of the concept that we're not going to be, the exit liquidity is not going to be like, some other retail being the exit liquidity, but the financial system is the exit liquidity. So I just thought, like, when I heard that, I thought it was so powerful, and it got me really fired up and very excited. So anyways, was an amazing experience. I got like a really, major FOMO not being able to attend, but I think this is going to be again like one of the many events that we're gonna organize, and it's been really a major one, guys. Amazing job.
That's a great contribution, and I'm so glad that you reminded me of that quote from dubbing, because I think it's like it shows how we are kind of thriving in contrast to a lot of these like Solana pump.fun tokens where you have like retail dumping on retail. Like retail is retail's exit liquidity, and like that tends to happen in the stock market too, because like you have the HFT, like high frequency trading algorithms that are psyoping you to dump on each other. And they benefit sort of bidirectionally. So yeah, I think that's a really good point that dubbing kind of very eloquently made, which is that like we're not going to stop until the money gets redistributed away from the people it's meant to be redistributed away from and towards the people it's meant to be redistributed towards. And yeah, not a case of people kind of PvPing each other. So yeah, I totally agree. That was sort of one of the profound moments of the conference. And to that point, something I wanted to also mention is there are so many banger sort of sound bites in the conference. And like I'm looking at some of our best like video makers in the audience. Arcane, I see you there. You know, like so many people in the audience right now create insane content for SPX. And I just want to point out that there's so much content that can be taken from the conference. So find those good sound bites. And like, in a way, we are the historians. Like right now, you know, we haven't necessarily reached critical mass just yet. And so the content that you think is worthy of propagating, find those sound clips, and, you know, incorporate them into the content that you make, the memetics, etc. So just remember, we have like these insane repositories of presentations from all of the different conferences, from Miami to Amsterdam to South Carolina now. And we should be leveraging that content, I think. And so, yeah, when you're making your next meme video, when you're making your next static SPX meme, feel free to consider going through the video footage from these conferences and grabbing some of those like really iconic sound bites. And I think it was Murad who pointed out that Blaze had like a ton of bangers too in the sort of like open mic monologue that he did. So definitely go back to some of these moments from South Carolina and grab whatever you can. There's so many hidden gems. There's no like SPX has like no centralized like point of authority. So like in, you know, like in the world of science and in the world of social studies, in like American education, you have like McGraw-Hill textbooks and all this stuff, and they're like the authoritative sort of sources of material that tell us what the narrative is apparently supposed to be. We don't have that in SPX, and that's to our advantage, right? Like we don't know who's funding the narrative that's written that we're inheriting in our like public education system. I mean, some of us might know, and sometimes the funding comes from places that would make you highly concerned. But anyway, in SPX, the beauty is, you know, whatever resonates with you, you can sort of take it and run with it and make new content from it. And I think like all of the speakers, like we said, SFC did an amazing job of curating a really great set of speakers for South Carolina. So there's a lot of really good content coming from every single person who spoke. And it ranges from feeling very academic to being historical, like looking at a historical view of like what makes an asset valuable or not, and then all the way to something being very authentic, like hearing from people's own personal experiences, and how they have connected those to having high conviction for SPX. So all of those things serve different purposes, but they do serve a purpose, and there's a lot of material that's worth propagating. So that was just the last point that I wanted to make on the South Carolina stuff, but also relevant to any conference that has been hosted so far. And yeah, I don't know, Murad, was there anything that you wanted to still discuss? Is there anyone else who wants to come on stage? Granted, I might not see you because my phone is really heating up. But yeah, I think like if you want to come on stage still, please feel free. And if not, we could always wrap spaces. Again, remember there are spaces that happen every single, like really every day of the week. And if you don't see a Twitter space running, you are hopefully going to feel empowered to like launch a space on your own. It could be about literally anything. Tell the Aeons about it. Jump into the Telegram and say, I'm hosting a space. Here's a link. People will show up. You know, varying amounts depending on what time of day and how much notice you give people. But if you want to plan something ahead of time, you can reach out to anyone in the community who has the ability to pin things in the Telegram. We'll try and get the word out. But I think more of these spaces hosted by a bigger variety of voices would be a really good thing. There's been a lot of Bronze Army spaces, which have been super high value, I think. There's DeJuice, there's Mike and Seb, there's tons of people who are hosting things. Hype's doing streams on Twitch. So yeah, just there are many different places to get access to SPX and for you to be able to connect with other community members. So seek them out, and if you can't find what you're looking for, please please do start your own and let us know, because we have Positive Polly on stage who's been getting a really sick sort of schedule going for when these things all happen. And nice. Oh, okay, good. I think I hear people came on stage, but I can't see who.
It's me. I just woke up.
Hi.
Right at the end.
What's up?
Hello.
I hear
missed
voices
everything,
that I
but-
recognize. I hear Hypey, but it's a little lower pitched than usual. I feel like I expect you to borderline have, the metrosexual coach vibe.
Yeah. No, I got breakfast voice on.
That's what it is. Well, have you slept yet, or
No, I
have-
just
yeah?
I
You
just
stayed
woke up. Yeah.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
It's 6 a.m.
What time is it by you?
6. So it's
Okay,
about to
and
be 7. I lied.
And I thought I heard Jordan's voice, but I can't actually see who's.
Yo, Stacey, how you going?
Is it also that early by you? You guys are on the same side of the world, I think.
Yeah, 6:43 a.m. here. So
Oh man, you guys are troopers. Well, thanks for being here. It's good to see you both.
Yeah, thanks for having us up. All I just want to say is we've got the Melbourne meetup happening 11th of July. Please reach out to me or Budish if you're interested in coming. Yesterday was absolutely amazing. Just blew my mind. I got up at 2 a.m. to watch. I know Hart got up as well at like 2 a.m. to watch it. So, well, he just stayed up, but it was insane.
I respect it. What did you guys do, each of you, to make sure you were able to stay up?
I went to bed early. I went to bed like 7:30 p.m. or tried to.
Your body allows you to do that? I'm so jealous.
No, it didn't. I trained it like 3 or 4 days in a row to try and go to sleep earlier and earlier. And then I managed to get like 4 hours sleep. And I was wrecked the next day. I did like 3 hours of mowing as well.
Well, that's amazing. And Hypey, I don't think you trained your body to go to sleep earlier. So what did you do? How'd you stay up?
Oh, light work. Light
You're
work.
like, 2
Just went to
a.m. That's
sleep.
early for me. I never sleep at 2 a.m.
Yeah. No, I ended up going to sleep at like 6 last night. I just stayed up all day.
We got to get Hypey to just move to the U.S. because you basically do exist on U.S. like time zone schedule.
Yeah, for the past like 2.5 years or something.
Yeah, I like literally since SPX. Yeah. Oh man.
I just want to say, because you're talking about spaces, spaces are so good for, I feel like, meeting other people and like learning more about SPX. Yeah, people just level up so fast when they participate just in the just the chill spaces where you're just hanging out, talking about whatever. Because conversations happen, people just ask questions. You can, like, it's not stressful. It's not like there's fucking 180 people listening like this space.
I was gonna say, I think you're making a really good point. Like, don't underestimate the power of like a smaller space where everyone's on stage as a speaker talking to each other. Those are like some of the best spaces out there. Totally agree.
Yeah, because I think we already talked about this last week, didn't we? Like the importance of like exposure.
I don't know if you can hear me because my phone is heating up, and now I don't know if I'm unmuted or muted. Am I unmuted?
Yeah, we can hear everything.
That's really scary because I don't think I have the capacity to mute myself again. Okay, my phone is heating up insanely, so I just unplugged it. Yeah, no, we did start to talk about this, just like exposure to community and the culture. Yeah, I think that is a game changer, and yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like just like get people launching spaces at any given moment. Like aside from even these pre-planned ones, people will show up. Like if you just choose to launch one and you put the link, in the either the Twitter group chats or on Telegram, people will join if they see it. Like I join whenever I possibly can. I can't always come up and speak, but I'll be able to more now that it's summertime. So yeah. We need to do some. Hypey, what is the value of karaoke during spaces? What role does that play in, like developing the culture and all that?
Oh, we haven't done karaoke in yawns. We haven't done karaoke in like forever.
I think we need to do one of those.
right now? Right now?
Maybe not right at this moment, but maybe like midweek.
Okay.
Maybe midweek, like you and I could coordinate something with a couple of the people who used to do it with us. Maybe we even get Lady T. I feel like she enjoys that. Yeah, we used to
It would be fun.
We used to do, especially like when things like were really boring because nothing was happening in the broader market. Like I want to say June 2024, we used to do tons of karaoke spaces, super late at night, meaning they were at a more reasonable time of day for people like Hypey and Jordan. Not that we've heard Jordan's singing voice yet, but I think maybe that might be on the horizon for us.
I don't think I can. I don't think I can sing. I can do voiceovers like in that video I made.
That's right. You did execute on the voiceovers. But Jordan, if you were doing karaoke, what would be your song of choice? Just curious.
I don't know. I like System of a Down, but that's like not very good karaoke music. So
we're still gonna expect a performance from you. So however you decide to execute on it, we'll make sure it's a space that's happening at a time you can attend. Definitely interested in this. If you come through, you get to hear Hypey like several octaves higher than his normal speaking voice.
what does Hypey sing?
Hype, what if you sang some good songs? I forget though.
Yeah, I feel like I've done a few.
You've done a good number.
I can't remember.
I know. I'm like blanking. You know what's funny? I went back and like last night I went down just a sort of like rabbit hole of like SPX in 2023 and 2024. I was really looking for a video, like an old video that I didn't end up.
I'm at the beach.
Yeah, I'm at the beach. Exactly. Yeah. I was looking for that video because I have like a crappy screen recording of it, but I wanted like the high resolution version of it. But I went down this rabbit hole and I found some old Twitter spaces, but it wouldn't let me listen to them. I think because it was so long ago, but I found like some links on Idea Hazard's page to old spaces. So I'm like determined to tap into some of these. I don't know if it was just the browser I was using, so I'm going to try a couple different things. But yeah, I want to try and get into some of these old recorded spaces and find some fun little like artifacts to share with people who maybe weren't around at that time, just so they could have a sense of like the crazy conversations that sometimes went on. So yeah, if I do manage to get into any of those really old recorded spaces, I'll share some fun stuff if I can. But yeah, I think we're overdue for karaoke, and maybe it's karaoke in August around like the 3rd birthday of SPX. Definitely we could arrange that.
Oh, like an SPX birthday party.
Yeah, I think we should do that. Maybe even do like, we did the 33-hour space together, Hypey, around the solstice. Maybe we do one around our birthday.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That would be super fun. All right, so we'll talk about that a little bit. Hype, any fun stuff coming up for your stream? Like what's on the horizon? You've been doing a good job sort of boosting like Jazel and Undi's new music. What can we look forward to in like the near future?
I have zero plans. No, I was thinking of maybe Thursday, taking the elusive empty Thursday slot that no one's taken and just doing like chill streams where anything goes.
That's a good slot.
Yeah.
I love
because I did it last. Was it Thursday? I think it was. And I just talked about like Aeons and went through like Aeon lore and like the prototypes, different like sort of tiers of rarity and stuff.
You just reminded me, I was meant to throw shade at you during this volleyball practice because you said something about like no one wants a fish hat or something, and I took that personally.
Did I? Was I fudding fish
You
heads?
did.
I don't remember fudding fish. Why would I
Why
fud
would
fish
anyone
heads?
do such a thing? I don't know. I mean, I think I'm a little bit biased. I think I have the best one, but no, some of us genuinely like the trait. It kind of alludes to I'm at the beach because it looks like I just like jumped straight out of the ocean or something. But yeah, no, I thought that was a really good stream. I thought it was really cool that you went through some of the traits. And you made a good point that like, you know, we had Money Gang and all these things. And I think we need to get back to like some of the smaller cohorts of people surrounding the traits. And if you ever want to start like a Sanrio army, I'll be a part of that because obviously I love my Sanrio.
Good luck. None of them are for sale.
I know, that's the
It's
problem.
like two people and the rest are like locked up.
That's a good point. I guess you have to like energize around things that are available so that people can get it into their hands if they choose to. But yeah, that's a valid point.
Like the lobsters. The lobsters were almost one of the only goofy traits that no one had like grabbed onto.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm looking right now at the Aeon.
Underloved lobster.
I'm looking at the Aeon floor, and there is a really interesting one. What's the token ID? Is that 709 maybe? That has like the chicken nuggies around it and has like the one black wing, and she's at the beach with the volleyball background. Yeah, Aeon 709 is like sick.
Oh, you like her?
Yeah, she's good. I mean, she's got the nuggies. That's like OG 2023 lore. The volleyball net. The one angel wing, the black wing effect is really cool. I'm a fan of that one.
See, I sort of like the other one. I've been looking at those two heaps, and the one with the ratty girl hair is a little.
The ratty girl hair. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Alluring.
You like that trait? Well,
No,
she's also
not
got the
really.
nuggies. She's got the chicken nuggies around her. She's cool. I like her.
The interesting thing with nuggies effect is it doesn't exist. So you can't search.
Like it's not in the metadating.
It's not a trait.
Yeah. I mean, in a way that makes it kind of even more special, maybe.
Hoodie Shy on Aeon Online rated that one quite high as well. I think it's on the top rated.
Wait, I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry. What did you say?
Sorry, I'm in a bath, so you might get a bit of funny sounds here. Hoodish and I on Aeons Online were rating the Aeons as well. I think obviously also do it.
Oh, yeah. Let's hear it.
We really like that one. The one with the nuggets around the edge and the. I can't remember the other traits it had, but it was a top rated one.
Yeah. Oh, that's sick. So you're rating the ones that are on the floor, like that are listed.
Yes. Yeah. Like the top.
Oh, that's cool, guys. Make sure you tune into that. Jordan, when does that happen?
Every Wednesday at 5 p.m. EST. Aeons Online. Hoodish and I have actually done 23 weeks in a row. So this week coming will be 24th week.
Holy crap! Keep it up. Keep it up.
I missed the show. Thanks, Stacey.
I've jumped into it, but it's always like at similar times that I'm working. But you can watch recordings of it, I assume, right? Like, do you log?
Yeah.
Okay, so I gotta go back.
We have YouTube, but we stream it to YouTube and we stream it to Twitter just to give everybody a chance to get into it.
Nice one. All right, cool. That's sick. Yeah, I love that. I love that you're kind of highlighting what Aeons are up for sale and going through the different traits. It's a lot of fun. I just do it when I'm passing time sometimes. But I do it kind of in silo. It's a lot more fun if you're doing it, like in the context of a stream, a podcast, whatever. So definitely love to hear that you're doing it. Gonna go back and revisit some of your recent ones. And yeah, nice. Awesome.
Thanks, Stacey. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thanks for doing it. Yeah, there's so much media content in SPX that is super hard to keep up with all of it. But what I love is that, like, for the most part, you can go back to a lot of these podcasts and streams and watch at your convenience, like once you get off of work. It's kind of a fun way to wind down, or like when you can't sleep. I sometimes find myself doing it. But yeah, I think we're gonna wrap up here. So Hypey, our homework is we got to figure out this birthday celebration for SPX, figure out some karaoke spaces. Jordan, you have to plan what song you're going to do and how you're going to execute it. And Paulie, we'll talk to you if we're like getting closer to when we're going to do any of these karaoke spaces. Maybe we could add it to the agenda. And yeah, I appreciate our Aussies coming out at 6, 7 a.m.
6, 7.
Hey, I just want to add announcements. So after the spaces, the Bronze Army will be holding a ping pong practice So the Spaces is not on the Jumbotron.
Ping pong, that's so sick. Okay, thank you for sharing that. Ping pong is so cool. That's really good. I love the Bronze Army so much. It's ridiculous. Okay, definitely join ping pong practice following volleyball. Murad, it's your space, so I want to let you sort of close this out with whatever message you choose. But thanks for having us all here together, and it was good talking to everyone. Appreciate you guys.
Absolutely, Spacey, and thank you so much for helping me co-host. Once again, I want to give a shout out to Southern Fried Chat. Incredible work organizing the conference yesterday. I continue hearing nothing but great things about it. Shout out to Cal, shout out to Manj, shout out to Benevolent Blaze, Chang, Jordan Riz, Denko for the new video, and everybody who participated in the panels. The Juice, it was great watching you guys at the panel yesterday as well. So thank you so much for that. And thank you for everybody who attended the Spaces today. Really happy that we managed to revive this tradition. Now, a year later, I think it's going to be an amazing addition to everything we do here in the Cognisphere. And thank you so much for attending, guys. Really excited to talk to you again in a week. Thank you, guys.
Flip the stock market. Peace out, y'all. Love you.
Thanks, Murad. Peace.